So hey folks, it's been a while since I did an update on my airplane project. So I thought I'd take a little time today. It's December 24th. It's a brisk 29 degrees here in Wisconsin. And figure it's a good day to get out, show a tour. So let me show you what I've been up to. I'm kind of excited. I'm very close to getting things done. It's a little bit of a mess, but here we go. So I'm going to start at the front, kind of do a walk around here. This is the new engine that I purchased 2 years ago, actually, a little less than that. The original engine I had on this was a half VW, like you see here. Mine was one that I bought from a gentleman in North Carolina. Needed a lot of work. It was 32 horsepower, and I got it up and running pretty well, and it served me well. But as I was coming through this rebuild process, I started shopping around for a new engine, so I was able to find this one from a gentleman out in West Virginia, actually. So had some time off, and I sold my engine for $2,500 and got this one for $2,000. So it's got the stroker crank, and it's got the larger heads on it. So this engine is, let's see, where have we got that? It's stamped on here. There we go, right down in there. Kind of hard to see, 94 by 86. So we've got the 94 millimeter cylinders, Nicosil cylinders with an 84 stroke on the crank, and she's putting out 45 horsepower. So looking forward to getting a lot more zippity zoom out of this than I had last time. Let's see, new prop on there, the new Culver prop. Very excited to see that. I'm gonna see about getting a spinner on this. I'm not sure if I can. This is a 4 1/4 inch plate, so might have to look around for something for that. Let's see. So as you can see, I'm working on the panel here, getting the wiring. So I'm just down to the last stages of getting the wiring done. I put the panel on a hinge here, so later on when I'm working on it, I can fold it down. So it's kind of a tight squeeze right now. All these wires hanging out, but nonetheless, I'm really happy with the way this has turned out so far. So I've got a switch here. These two will be for the lights. So there's a power switch, and this will select different patterns. I got a magneto switch. I've got a pump switch here for the electric pump, and then my master switch over here. Pretty standard EGT, CHT, oil temp, oil pressure. This is a radiant altimeter. Got myself a nice big airspeed indicator. I will be putting a cover over this, so that'll support this entire framework there. And put this piece in here so I could have a little something to hold the wiring and clean that up. So that'll all get sorted out there. And of course I've got a little block there for doing the wiring. Let's see, it's kind of a mess in the cockpit, but actually it's in really good shape. So rudder pedals, those are all set to go. Got the throttle all hooked up, so that's working nicely. Flapper on, got some adjustment to do there. You can see the little spots here where the seat will attach, so that's ready to go. You can see the wiring there that in the pitot tube that goes up into the wing. Similar, got wiring here for the wing strobes. New in the back, so I got a gascolator over here. So that's taking, gas from the tank coming through here. It'll separate out any water and screen out any debris. And then I can drain down at the bottom. You see there's a hole down there. So I'll be able to drain out any water in the system. I added a fuel pump. This is just a low pressure fuel pump, 1 to 4 psi. So that's routed up through here. So I have dual fuel pumps. So I've got a fuel pump here. So that one feeds up into this fuel pump. This is a mechanical, and it will run all the time. And then from here, you go down to this pressure regulator. This is a 1 to 4 psi pressure regulator, and the control is here. So all the way out, lowest setting is about 1 psi. I've tested that thus far and it seems to work just fine. Haven't really seen what the pressure rating is on it yet. We did attempt to do an engine run a week ago. It just barely started up, but then it quit, so we only got, a 1 second little burst of wanting to start. I assume that it needs to have the carburetor adjusted, so it's been sitting idle for a while. Also have a magneto. Again, let me move some of this mess here. So, got the magneto. So last time I had a distributor mounted over here. Now I have an oil fill port, so no distributor. I am considering going with dual ignition, so would have to have the heads drilled for that. It's only about $100, and they do it here in town, so I can get that done pretty quick. Let's see, wings. Wings are folded right now. I'm happy to report we can do that. Last time when I was working on this, I don't know if I had set up wrong or if B-Light shipped me the wrong cables, which are currently hanging on the wall over there. But I could only get about a 30-degree sweep on the wings, which was pretty disappointing, but didn't affect the fact that it could fly, so that's all fine. Let's take a moment to talk about covering. So this is Oratex, and I've got the Oratex 6000 on the fuselage, so I'm doing the blue. You can see there's some wrinkles there. In the cold weather you'll get that unless you shrink it up nice and tight. So I'll have to go over that and shrink it up again. Looking at the wings, this is the Oratex 600, the ultralight fabric, so didn't need it on the wings so much. Let's see, back here, got the cables set for the tail assembly. Put those on, and I've got more adjusting to do. If you kind of look at that, you can see that there's a warp in the leading edge. I've gone ahead and safety wired these, and I'm going to have to take the safety wires off and do some adjustments, so won't be going anywhere until that's done. Let's see, continuing on around, there's the wire for the tip lights. I'm going to be putting wingtip fences on this. That'll help some just with airflow. Don't expect too much of a difference in performance. This is the original rudder and elevators. They stayed in good shape after the crash landing, hard landing, whatever we want to call it. Let's see, pitot tube. We'll see how that works. I don't know. Maybe I'll relocate that later. We'll see. One day at a time. I've got other things I need to finish. Moving on up. Let's see. Not much to describe here. Kind of a peek down the inside of the wing. It's always kind of a fun shot. But it's in good shape. One of my last little projects I'm going to have to work on is the Lexan. So I've got my old Lexan that's cracked from the crash landing. But what I want to do, the problem I have is that when I sit in the seat here, and I've got about a 2-inch seat cushion, because technically, according to B-Light, this little space right here is the seat in the plans. I have my bigger seat with the back on it. But that's not the seat according to the official rules, which is one of the ways that they kind of skirted Part 103. So nonetheless, with that seat cushion on here, me sitting up straight, my head hits the Lexan as it sits right here. So I have no room for a helmet. I have no room for a headset. So be it. So one of my projects is to take the Lexan and I'm going to make a bubble and give myself, another 2 inches of headroom with a bubble in this area across here. I suppose I could do something to make this taller, because this is really just the rib that sits here against the wing, but that would look kind of unusual. At least I think it would. So there are options there. I've got a great big 8-foot piece of Lexan. I can take a couple tries at it. Let me see. That's really about it. Oh yeah, let's see. I've got a 8-gallon gas tank now instead of a 5-gallon, and I know for a fact that this kit will not meet Part 103. It was sold to me as an ultralight kit. It was sold online as an ultralight kit, and I highly suspect, unless they really did a minimalistic build with, you know, a little four-stroke engine, didn't cover the aft part of the fuselage, took the little plastic 5-gallon gas tank from a hardware store, a lot of little things like that, did a minimalistic design, minimalistic build, they probably could still come into Part 103. But when I did mine, I did everything, I took carbon fiber spars, I got carbon fiber, or struts, excuse me. The leading edge and the main spar tube are carbon fiber. Aluminum ribs. I took every option according to their website that would reduce weight, because I wanted to be Part 103 legal. So I went through all the maneuvers, did everything, according to plan. And when I did my first weight and balance, I came in at 308 pounds. I decided I'd fly as a fat ultralight, not worrying about it. I know they don't do ramp checks, so it's kind of on your honor to be legal. So, I took it that way. Now that I'm going back through, I made some changes to the materials in the airframe. Still stuck with the same design, but I've got some thicker, heavier materials. And obviously with the engine, I changed out the gear. So, different kind of gear on these. And, speaking of the gear, little sidetrack there. So I put these disc brakes on. I had drum brakes, they're go-kart drum brakes. Nothing special, of course, they're marked up incredibly as part of the kit. So I bought these and got these set up for disc brakes. So they're mountain bike brakes, and I went through the process of building a mount and getting them all set up to go. So far they look like they'll work great. But nonetheless, options. So went through all that, and I'm going to go ahead and register this as LSA. So I'm looking forward to that. Just have a few more things to do. So got to finish the wiring, get that all set up. I've got the flaperons to attach. They're in my basement at home. Got to adjust the tail and the Lexan. So I mean, there's not a lot left to do. I know I'll be flying this spring, so I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, that's about it. So, very excited about the process and the prospect of getting this guy up and flying soon. Yeah, so there you have it. I want to say, well, looks like we're all crooked here. Let's see, can we get this straightened out? I don't know, we'll figure it out here. So I want to say thanks to everybody that's helped me along the way. I have a lot of friends here in the Ultralight chapter, EAA UL1, first Ultralight chapter. They've been in business since about 1970, 78, 76. And a lot of good support there. If anyone is looking to fly ultralights in southeast Wisconsin, we're definitely eager to have you come join our club. By the way, we're here at Capitol Airport in Brookfield, so we would welcome anyone who might be in the area to drop in for a visit or come on out and fly sometime. So thanks everyone, and hope you enjoy the tour.